Hey, what's up y'all? Welcome back. So if you've watched a lot of the videos on this channel, you've definitely heard me play this riff a bunch of times. And that's because it comes up often in a bunch of different songs. Riff played by Clapton, Robert Johnson, Hubert Sumlin. The list goes on and on. A lot of the artists that I cover on this channel and a lot of the songs that we learn use this exact riff. For today's lesson, I wanted to put this riff right at the top of the lesson and really highlight just this riff and how it works and how to play it and when you can use it. Remember, a lot of this etude is for your visualization, so you can start to visualize where you can place the riff over each chord. Okay, so you can start to visualize these key spots for your improvisations and for your writing. This is something that we call double stops, which is just a two-note chord. We're just playing these two shapes. This shape, slide it down, play this shape, slide it down again, and then play this shape again, but then give it that little bend. So we have, okay, and that's the sound. The main idea though is when you do the bend, make sure that it's at the tail end of the note. Don't start the note with the bend like that. That just kind of makes it sound like it's out of tune. If you start with it minor third, and then kind of right at the end, kind of give it the tail end of that note, give it a little bit. Almost every time when people play this riff, they use it rhythmically with a triplet. So it's like 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. And so that means you're just going 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, okay? If you can, try to hit that thumb on the low E string on every downbeat. So like 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. Now when you notice people like Clapton play, and a lot of these other old school kind of blues players, oftentimes they're just going to use one finger to rake across. And I think that actually sounds cooler, even though I almost always use two fingers. The one finger rake kind of separates the notes just a little bit, and it just kind of sounds more authentic and cool. So try that. So go 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a. And if you want to give it a little bit more blues flavor too, I think a lot of this sound kind of comes from maybe like slide guitar or people almost kind of screaming, yelling with a little bit of vibrato in their voice. So you want to try to give it some of that attitude too, like this. Just give it a little shake. Now notice when I'm doing that shake, take a look at the headstock of my guitar here. That's shaking too. I think if you just like try to concentrate on the strings bending themselves, it's hard to get the right sound, but if you just try to think of it as like, okay, I'm just gonna kind of shake the guitar up and down. It kind of gives it, I think it makes it a little easier for you to approach it. Now, if you wanted to just play the straight Mixolydian where this is kind of coming from, it would sound like this. Which that sounds sweeter, right? It has like a major third sound. It sounds like this. And those sound really nice too, but we're still missing that element that goes, that gives it that really cool bluesy kind of flavor that we like. It's challenging going from the bottom of the neck to the top of the neck up here. So that's the first exercise that y'all should try to do. See if you can do the riff and then a shuffle like this. If you can't do the shuffle at the bottom like this part, then just see if you can at least get this hand down and just play this. This is just an E power chord. We're playing E and the note B, second fret of the A string, together. So you'd be like this, 1 and a, 2 and a, 3 and a, 4 and a, 1, 2, 3, 4. And that's gonna be better. I don't want you to just play the open E string, then you're not forcing your hand to get down to the bottom of the neck and then back up again. It's hard. It's hard to go from here to and slide and just hit this. It'll take a few times, you know, you'll slide up and be low, or you'll slide up and be too high. But to try to get it right on the right spot, takes a little bit of getting used to. So that's the first challenge. And here's how you visualize where this spot is, okay? So this is a riff that you're playing over E. So visually, what we want to do is locate the note E on the high E string, which is, come up with these two fingers. This is another way of kind of like getting into this spot. Visually, your eye should jump to this and know that, okay, this is the note E, and this is like a little E partial chord that we could play. Now from here, then go to your 7th chord shape that we started with, and then do the riff. The reason I'm showing you that is because now we're gonna do that same thing over A. Check this out. When we're in A, we're gonna use that same process. Mentally, we're gonna find that note A on the 1st string, which happens to be the 5th fret, okay? This is our kind of A chord double stop. This is the A7 shape double stop, like how we had from here, but we're playing it now in the 3rd and 5th frets. And now once you're here over A, just play that same riff in this position. So it sounds like this. Right? Hear that? Notice what I'm doing at the end. I'm kind of sliding into that 2nd fret there. That's because up here it's easy to bend. On the 1st fret, it's kind of hard to get the bend all the way up in the right pitch. So you can kind of slide that in. It has the same effect. You could also do that up here. You could have done that there too. So finally, I'm just gonna put this in a musical context of the 12-bar blues so that y'all can play along. I'm gonna put the tabs on the screen, but if you join FGA members, you can download the tabs so you can work on this stuff on your own time. Remember, this is kind of like a etude or practice exercise to help you learn how to place these in context of a 12-bar blues. Your goal after learning this etude would be to start using that in your own blues improvisations. And if that seems a little too hard to start right now, just keep playing these little etudes that I've written. I have several on the channel. As long as you're using these ideas in a musical context, the ideas will start sinking in. A lot of these ideas are already in your head. If you listen to blues, then you've heard all this stuff before. So it's already in your head. We're just trying to figure out how to map it out with our hands and our eyes. I'm gonna play this at 60 BPM. Just a little preview on the turnaround, the last 4 bars. We have a B chord, B7, and then we're gonna play this phrase. Again, this is for your visualization so you can practice. Okay, here's B7. This is, remember that spot we're jumping up to. We discussed that from before. We're gonna play a phrase like this. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Remember there's that kind of B7 shape. Then the same thing over A. 1, 2, and 3, and 4. Okay, and then back to the E, and then we're gonna do a turnaround. We're gonna do my 1-finger turnaround. Okay, which comes up in a lot of songs too. So here we go, BPM at 60. Here's the etude. I'll play very slow. 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and then you would start over. So I hope this has been really helpful for y'all, and thanks for watching. I'll see you guys on the next one.